I found out on our wedding day that he only married me for a visa. From the moment we met, he made me feel like the center of his universe. We'd lock eyes across the church during choir rehearsals, and his smile always found me. He was Nigerian, warm, charming, with that deep accent that made every "I love you" feel like poetry. He told me I was beautiful even on my worst days. Held my hand like it was made of glass. And when he proposed after just a year of dating, I didn't hesitate. I said yes. Because love had never felt this real. But I didn't know I was the only one really in love. Everything was going so fast. The wedding prep. The legal paperwork. His subtle but consistent excitement about finally being able to walk legally after the marriage. I thought it was normal. I didn't read between the lines. Until my world unraveled on our wedding day. Happened in the bridal room 15 minutes before the ceremony. I was glowing, nervous, and dressed like every little girl dreams. My maid of honor had just stepped out to grab my bouquet. I was alone. Or so I thought. That's when I heard the two voices, just outside the half-open door. I recognized his instantly. The other voice. His cousin. The one who barely looked me in the eye throughout the engagement. They didn't know I was inside. They must have thought I had already walked out. Their words were low, hurried. But the sentence that shattered me. I heard it clear as day. Once the papers come through, I'm gone. She's sweet, but I never planned to stay. I froze. Every nerve in my body went numb. I thought I misheard. I wanted to believe I misheard. But then his cousin laughed. Just make it through today. She looks like she'd sponsor your whole family if you asked nicely. They both laughed. I didn't. I was still standing there dressed in white, holding the veil that now felt like a costume in a horror show. I should have confronted him right then. Stormed out. Screamed. Something. But I didn't. Instead, I sat back down. My hands were trembling so badly I could barely hold the mirror. My reflection. Unrecognizable. I looked like a woman dressed for someone else's wedding. I waited until everyone was seated. Until they started playing our song. Until the coordinator came in with a wide smile and whispered, "It's time." And then, I stood up, removed my veil, and said, "Not anymore." I walked out the back door of the church. I could hear gasps. Confusion. The music kept playing for a few awkward seconds before someone finally realized what had just happened. The bride was gone. I turned off my phone. Got in the Uber I'd secretly ordered. And left. Left the hall. Left the lies. Left the man who only wanted a country, not a commitment. The silence didn't last long. By the time I turned my phone back on that evening, there were 47 missed calls, over 100 messages, and a full-blown Facebook drama unfolding. His side of the story. I don't know what happened. She just left. Cold feet, I guess. Maybe she was never serious to begin with. My inbox was flooded with messages from mutual friends. Some were angry. Some were confused. A few were supportive. But what broke me the most? His mother's voice note. "After everything we did for you. You humiliated our family. On the wedding day. You will regret this. I swear you will." She had no idea what her son had said. What I had heard. What he had planned. And I didn't explain. Not at first. Because I wasn't ready to share my shame. But then he did something that made me change my mind. He tried to use my silence to file for marriage fraud, claiming I was the one using him to stay in the country. That was the day I decided to speak. He underestimated me. He thought I'd stay silent out of embarrassment. That I wouldn't want the world to know I was just a stepping stone in his immigration plan. But what he didn't realize is I had everything. The voice recording. The DMs where he joked about getting the green card and ghosting. Even screenshots of his cousin bragging to someone about the hustle. So, I did the unthinkable. I posted it all. I uploaded a 3-minute video explaining why I walked away. No tears. No drama. Just truth. The clip of him saying, "Once the papers come through, I'm gone," right at the start. It went viral in less than 48 hours. Suddenly, his tune changed. He called. Apologized. Begged. Claimed it was just a joke between men. Even had the nerve to say, "You still love me, don't you?" But I didn't respond. He didn't love me. He loved what I could give him. And that love had expired. After the video went viral, I expected mockery. Shame. Whispers at the grocery store. But something else happened instead. Women, hundreds of them, started reaching out. Some had been through worse. Some were still living in it. They called me brave. They said my story gave them the courage to live. To ask questions. To trust their gut. And slowly, piece by piece, I began to heal. I started therapy. I went back to school, something I'd always put off because he said I didn't need it. I joined a women's support group and shared my story in safe spaces. It didn't erase the pain. But it reminded me. I was not stupid. I was not weak. And I was never the villain. He tried reaching out again a few months later, this time with flowers, promises, and a half apology that felt like PR. I left the bouquet at his cousin's gate. It's been over a year now. I don't check his socials. I don't ask about him. I've learned to release the need for closure because sometimes, peace is the closure. I smile again. I laugh for real. And when I look in the mirror, I no longer see a woman who was used. I see a woman who walked away before losing herself. He may have come for a visa. But I came out with a voice. And today, I use that voice for women like me who almost gave their forever to someone who only wanted a shortcut. Now, I turn to you. If you found out, just minutes before walking down the aisle, that the person you loved only wanted papers, not partnership, would you still go through with it? Would you protect your heart or your image?